It's hard for families. It's a tough thing that, especially with older adults who have no children or family that is nearby, right? Children have to live out of state, and now they have to figure out how to deal, right, with all the belongings of mom or dad or whoever just passed away. It's not just the physical aspect of it, right, but it's the emotional aspect of it. And that's kind of where I come in, right? I help them break that emotional aspect. I help them figure out what's there so they can come in and clearly see what's there and make the decisions on the go, instead of trying to, think about, well, this thing came from such and so, I have to keep it forever.
Yes.
Right.
What's up, Camden County? You are catching episode 103 of the Get In Your Business podcast. I'm your host, Alison Shores with the Camden County Chamber of Commerce. This Get In Your Business podcast is made possible by our chairman circle sponsors, Georgia's Own Credit Union, Lockheed, Comcast, Georgia Power Company, Sparklight, Plug Power, St. Mary's DDA, TDS Telecom, and Ameris Bank. Thank you to all of our sponsors. All right, guys, we are going to get down to business today. I'm so excited. I've got Orderly Chaos Solutions, Miss Jessica, in the studio today. So thank you for joining me and agreeing to do this.
Thank you, Alison. It's my pleasure. So happy to be here.
Girl, you got so much. Before we jump into Orderly Chaos, because I feel like that's kind of sums up my life, let's talk about you. Where are you from? How'd you get to Camden County?
So a little bit about me. So I'm originally from California.
Okay.
But I grew up in Mexico.
Okay.
I came back to the States when I was 12. I joined the military at 17.
17.
Yeah, 17.
Wow.
So I did 10 years in the military, Army.
Okay.
When I left the military, this is kind of where I landed, St. Mary's.
Really?
So I've been here now since 2015.
Okay.
So quite a bit. So this is my home now. Really.
Yeah.
This is where I lived the most time as an adult. So I really consider Camden now my home.
Well, I think what's so cool about you is when I met you, you had your job,
Right.
you were doing stuff, and you were doing this, trying to figure out what to do with this on the side.
Right.
And I think it's so cool to, we've gotten to be a part of your little journey and watch you grow. And it's so fun. And also watching you getting like in the community and wanting to do stuff for the community. It's like, I love this so much. We've used your services. It's amazing. Before we jump into that, you just did with this whole, with your whole business, you went through the Lucas Center, the Idea Bootcamp, but then you went through a Accelerate program and for 8 weeks. And at the end of that, guys, they judge and they award money to the business to help them get started and all the things. And you won that.
Yes, I did.
And I was so excited when I said, okay, Jessica, doing some stuff. But, it's so hard. I think I say this all the time, and you and I were talking about it off air, like it's so hard to start a business and to actually get it up and going. And we have so many people that, they have talents, skills, their passions, kind of like you. And, it's like, okay, but now all the business stuff comes into play and you're filling out all these forms and, trying to get a name and all these things. It's so hard. And you're constantly questioning, am I doing this right? Like, because I tell everybody Jesus sees everything and I cannot go to jail. So, so it's scary when you're like that because you're like, I don't know. I'm filling out all these things.
Right.
And so I think these programs make you kind of think about that kind of stuff. And because it's not that people are stupid or just don't know what they're doing. It's just, it's a hard process.
It is. It's a lack of information, right? Not everybody has a business degree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And the program like the Lucas Center really gives individuals who have a business idea the tools, right? The awareness, the knowledge to really get started and get out there.
Yep.
Because I feel as a small business owner, right, you get so focused on your day-to-day things that you lose awareness of everything else. So thank you so much for the Lucas Center. It was a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Anybody who has an idea, please look them up and sign up for their boot camp. It was worth.
Because it's a free program.
Totally.
So you're not paying to play. You're learning and you're going through stuff. And then at the end, you have to come up with a presentation and pitch it. Your whole, like, what you're doing, all the things. And the judges were like, yes, girl, you. So I think that's amazing.
It is. It was such a scary thing, but such a rewarding, after the fact, once I got done, I said, oh my God, I got through it. people really believe, right, in my
Yes.
services. Is really a need. I'm not just thinking that this is something that can take off. It's something that is actually a need out there.
And this is the last thing I'm going to say about this because it's supposed to be about your business. But like, I feel people get, like it helps their confidence a little bit more when, you know, because like when I started the chamber, I didn't have all the skills to want to talk about in front of people, in front of a crowd. I got to talk, I'm going to throw up, you know, and to where I am now, you know, it's so, I don't know. I feel like the Accelerate program just gives people a little bit more confidence, especially when you have to get up there and present it. And a lot of people, they've never done that before. I know I hadn't, you know, and so it was really cool when I got to see it. You know, I've seen a few of the groups come through now, and I wasn't able to be at the judging of this one, but yeah, so congratulations.
Yeah, really cool. Thank you. Yes,
so now what have you created? Because it's called Orderly Chaos Solutions, right?
So it's called Organized Chaos Solutions. Organized Chaos Solutions. Under Organized Chaos Solutions, I have two different lines. Okay. So I have my residential organizing line, which is Orderly Chaos Professional Organizing.
Okay. Professional organizing. Okay.
And then I have Organized Chaos Eco Tote Rentals. These are my eco-friendly, moving, reusable totes or containers. So instead of using messy, hard to build, hard to get rid of cardboard boxes, it's a reusable plastic container that all you do is close the lids, put it on the truck, and off you go.
Wait.
So two different lines. Through my Orderly Chaos Professional Organizing line, I offer residential organizing services. So anybody who, you know, is moving in, moving out, if they're going through a transition, you know, whether they're downsizing, upsizing, right-sizing, whatever the situation.
I love that. I love it. Yeah.
Whatever the situation is, my services help deal with, you know, the chaos, right, and the overwhelm that comes with it.
I was about to say, I think what it comes down to is just you're so overwhelmed, you don't even know where to start.
Right.
And like, nobody wants to clean up their own stuff. Like, I will go help my friends and my mom, whoever, organize, clean out anything of their stuff. But you start talking about mine,
you're like, I don't want to.
I can find anything else to do, anything. Right. And so, like, I know at my house and even here at the chamber, like when I came here, I was overrun with like files, paper files, and you know, we were trying to move into digital and try to get everything digital. And I was so overwhelmed with stuff. I mean, I found folders from, you know, the 90s and stuff. And I'm like, what is happening? And so I think it was really great because you came in and like at the perfect time. And God seems to do this in this world, I guess, just like showing up. Yeah. Like when I'm just about to throw in the towel and just light it all on fire.
Burn it up.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're supposed to keep and what you don't have to keep and what, you know, but you know all that stuff.
Right.
And I think that people need to know that you will come in, especially like, and I don't know but like when people die, and I know when my grandmother died, she was like, she left all kinds of stuff, and to know what to keep and what to throw away with that.
It's hard for families, you know, it's a tough thing that, especially with older adults who have no children or family that is nearby, right? Children have to live out of state, and now they have to figure out how to deal, right, with all the belongings of mom or dad or whoever just passed away. It's not just the physical aspect of it, right, but it's the emotional aspect of it. And that's kind of where I come in, right? I help them break that emotional aspect. I help them figure out what's there so they can come in and clearly see what's there and make the decisions on the go instead of trying to, you know, think about, well, you know, this thing came from such and so, I have to keep it forever.
Yes.
Right.
Because that's how we feel. Right. And, you know, I mean, my mom saved so many things from our childhood, like, and as an adult, and I don't have children of my own, I'm like, what am I going to do with my very first Easter basket? You know, what am I going to do with yeah, like, what am I going to do with some of this stuff? Right. You know, it's cute, and I love to look back at the memories, but
what are you going to do with it?
What am I going to do with it? So I think that's a lot of the question with people, like, what do you do with the stuff?
Right.
So you come into play.
Yes.
And I guess explain the Eco Totes to me, how this works.
So the Eco Totes, so how they are designed to work really is to be an efficient tool for individuals, again, who are moving in, moving out, or just need a project at home, right? I've helped individuals move in and move out. And I've had the pleasure of building boxes.
Yeah.
Not
so fun.
so fun.
Yeah.
I said there has to be a better way of doing this, right? And on top of that, I find that when individuals move, right, and they pack stuff on the flip end, they never really fully unpack. So you find boxes in their garages that have been sitting there for months, sometimes years.
Because it's stuff they don't know what to do with.
Right? And that's attracting bugs, rats.
Yes, all the things.
All kinds of nasty stuff that you don't want in your home. So I invested, right, in these containers, and this is what I use now to move my people, right? There's no boxes to break down, no boxes to put together. There's no messy cardboards to get rid of at the end of a move.
And if you've ever moved, you know what it's like to break down those boxes, to put the boxes together, and I feel like all the boxes are different sizes. And then if you're not getting it from like an actual move-in place and you're just using all your old Amazon boxes or whatever box you can find, then you've got all kinds of different sizes and different.
And I imagine loading all that into a truck. Right now, everything is everywhere. You don't know what's what, and unloading and unpacking becomes a nightmare.
Yeah.
Right. On my totes, it's simple. You put stuff in, you put a label. If you want to secure them, a little zip tie. Boom, off they go in the truck. Everything stacks up nice and neat. They're weatherproof, right? So there's no rain, no water's going to get in there. No bugs are going to get in them because they don't attract bugs. We pick them up and we drop them off. So you don't have to go to the store. You just pick the package that you want to select. So, for example, I have packages for a studio bedroom, a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, depending on the size of the home.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they can pick that.
Yes.
And then you'll drop them off.
I'll drop them off.
You pick them up.
And I pick them up, yes. And then I can pack for them if they want to, or unpack.
So you can literally choose any of these services, like whatever makes the most sense for you.
Yes.
Do you need somebody to come pack it? Or do you just need the boxes?
Exactly. Yeah.
That is too cool. Because, people are always looking for moving boxes and stuff. And I think that's the question. I think there's even a Facebook group that one of my friends started on, like, trading off, boxes. But my gosh.
And also think about the environment, right? Where are these boxes landing?
A very, very valid question.
And if you think about, if you see all the construction that's happening, there's a lot of people moving all over the place. So it's just cardboard boxes on cardboard boxes. My whole approach to what I do is really thinking from a sustainable point of view, right?
Yeah.
Not just for the individual that I'm helping, but also for all of us, right? For our planet, for our world, because we're here, we live in it, we have to take care of it.
Yeah. Now, how did you get into this?
So I have, my background is actually in IT and systems management and security.
I know, which is like it's so crazy. Continue.
But I've always had this very structured mindset, right? So everything that I do, I try to do it in a way that is going to work in multiple times throughout time, right? Yep. So when I set something up on my house, right, it's with intent, it's with a purpose, right? This thing is always going to be there where I'm looking for it.
Have you been this way your whole life?
My whole life.
So you got to put it to good use.
Yes. So, again, this is my background, right? I sold during COVID, when everybody was buying stuff off of Amazon, right?
Yes.
I said, gosh, what are we going to do with all this stuff? I said, people are going to need help, right?
Yeah.
And I can do it.
Yes.
I love to organize things. I'm not afraid to get in a messy room full of stuff.
I can honestly say that with 100% confidence. She does not get intimidated, and I have tried very many times.
Small spaces, many boxes, they do not intimidate me, right? Because I know that everything that's in a pile, everything that's in a box, it has a home. We just have to find a home for it.
Now I have a question. What if my closet is a disaster and I don't feel like it's big enough for all the things that I want to put in there? Will you come help me? Like, is that a service that you do? Like, will you organize help me figure out how to make this happen?
Definitely. Yeah, that's what I work with individuals, right? So there's individuals that have a lot of space, right? To have all the things that you want.
Yep.
You have no problem. But there's individuals that don't have enough space to have all the things that they want, right? we have to be realistic, right? Not everything's going to fit with the space that you've given, but there are easier ways to hang, fold, and store items, right? So that they take up less room, right? And that when you're looking for a certain thing, it's where it makes sense to be, right? So for example, if you're looking for a sweater, right, you're not going to look in a drawer where your shorts are at.
Yeah.
Right.
What you're saying makes complete sense.
Thank you.
Like, I've never stopped to like really think about these kinds of things because I think in my life everything's so fast paced that I don't. Those kind of things fall to like
the side.
Well, it's always like, oh, I'll do that in a couple of weeks when I'll have a weekend to myself. I'm like, no, that doesn't happen. No. And so, you know, I think sometimes we just need a little help with that kind of stuff, and you know, and it happens so fast that you can get overrun with
very quick, right? And we have to think about, right, that people have busy lives, right? We all do, right? And organization of a home maybe it's not a priority. It's a problem, but necessarily not a priority. Nobody sees it, right? Yeah. Until you start to walk in your space and you're like, I can't take it anymore.
And I think people downplay like what stuff everywhere, clutter does for you mentally. Definitely. And like I think I experienced it. I was like, when me and David had just been going like crazy, and there was not a lot of time for what I normally do in my structured week. But so yeah, it got crazy, and I will never forget the day that like I just said, nope, we got to catch up, and just did everything. And I went on like a whole like cleaning out the junk drawer, you know what I'm saying? That kind of clean out. And I can't tell you how good I felt afterwards. And I think people need to realize that your clutter is also making you like this.
You. Yes, definitely, it's affecting you. Your stress level, right?
It does.
Your health. Your mindset, right?
And people don't realize
it. And all of that is costing you money.
Yes.
Right? Because now you need therapy.
Yeah.
So I'm actually like free therapy.
You know,
I provide a service with a free therapy.
Yes, but I love that. And you've gotten really plugged in with the community. You've been texting me lately about little ideas that you're having about getting, you know, people plugged in and bringing people on the journey with us and just doing a bunch of stuff. And I love it so much. And thank you for letting us go on this journey with you, because it's been so cool. One thing I just want to make sure that I tell people, because it is a service that you provide, and it is, for me, it was like just a game changer, was when you took all of our records and you digitized them. And like, I can't tell you how amazing that felt when you did all that for me, because girl, I didn't have a clue like what to do with all these these files.
See, and that's another of my services, right? I don't just organize physical spaces. I also tackle documents, right?
Yes.
Because documents are things that we collect every day, whether we like to think that we're in a completely digital world, we're not. We're still collecting lots of papers, daily mails coming in, newsletters, magazines, right? And a lot of times, again, we're busy, or we have, you know, issues in our life, disabilities, problems that are keeping us from digging through the piles, right? And a little pile easily becomes
a big pile.
A lot of big piles.
And like for me, I inherited big piles, and they were in a closet. Look at her face. But like there was just all these boxes, and it would be like 1997, and I'm like, wait, what from 1997? What do we even have in here? But you know, it was just, and it stayed in a closet, and like I didn't think about it as long as I didn't open that door, it was fine. You know?
You don't see it, it's not there.
Yeah, it's on there. I know if I need to get it, I can get it out of there somewhere, somehow. But that was the thing. There was so much. And like, as the years kept rolling in, I just kept wanting to shut the door because I didn't know what to do.
Right.
And like literally you digitizing, because even we had the Camden partnership, when Sheila McNeil, you know, passed away, we took that, and we had to shut down her, you know, whole office, and you helped me do that in a time where I was like straight panic mode. And like, I was like, now I just inherited another office, and she's got her own files, and it was just a lot. And you know, that's just not something. So I want businesses to know that on that side of things, you will help.
Definitely.
Because a lot of us, I think in Camden, you know, we were a little bit behind, and not even behind. It just, a little slower on getting everything digitized and moving over.
And that's really that reality for a lot of small businesses, right? We're still running out of paper, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Yeah. But for records management, right, you do want to not keep piles everywhere and keep your important documents accessible, right, and ready for you to be used.
Yeah, and I just think that's important. And so that you doing that for businesses is so it's needed, and I just want people to know you're here to be able to do that. Because I'm gonna be honest, before I met you, like, I'm sure eventually it would have come to my mind, like, that somebody could do that for me, but I don't know when, because I didn't even think about somebody actually doing that for you. Like, I didn't even know it was a thing. And so I don't know, I was so thankful to find you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been my pleasure working with you and in the chamber and being involved. I really believe that, a business is not a business without community.
It's not. And we're all stronger when we're together and we're working together, Amen to that, girl. Yes. If we would just all work together, it would make things a lot easier, I feel like.
Yes.
Now, was there anything else you wanted to mention as far as the businesses go? Like, I don't know. I feel like we've covered it, and that is a lot of the things. But what is your favorite thing to organize?
My favorite thing to organize, actually, papers. I love dealing with papers. Yeah, it's something about just going through paper. I don't read everything in a paper. I have this special skill that I can skim through different words, but still capture everything. I'm a fast reader, so going through papers is very easy for me, and I just love seeing piles disappear, right?
To nothing.
People sometimes think that they need to keep all these stack of documents, and in reality, they needed 3 documents out of the whole pile.
Yeah.
So I really love being able to condense all that chaos into a small archive file.
And that's what you did for the partnership. You took this whole office full of just stuff, and it's a box. It's this little box
and a flash drive.
A little drive. And I'm like, yes. But I just think it's really, really cool, and it's such a great service. And you seem to have honed in on your talents and skills and what you bring to the table, and you made a business out of it. And girl, yes, I love that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And such an inspiration for other people trying to open up businesses. So I just think it's great. Was there something else you wanted to mention? I did ask you that and then didn't give you a chance to answer.
I just want to let people know, right, that if they feel stuck in their current space, right, or they're transitioning, going through something in life, right, and they just need a little help, right, because sometimes they just need one time, right? Sometimes it's reoccurring, but sometimes it's just that one time. Just, make sure you know that there is somebody out here, right, providing services to help you move forward in life so that you can thrive, right? Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help people move forward.
And what you're not telling people is that usually you become family to the people you're organizing with, because that's how you were with me. And so I was just and then I know other people you have really connected with, and they've become your people, just organizing stuff. So I think it's really, you have a heart for what you do and the people that you're helping.
I enjoy getting to know people, right? Because as I'm going through their things, right, whether it's a document, something on their computer, or, a physical thing, right, there's always a story behind it, right? And I love when people share their stories, right? Because when they share their stories, sometimes they can make peace with it, and they can
let it go. Yeah. Right. I hadn't thought about that aspect of it, but for sure. So you really are their therapist. That's what happens. I think every time you see me, I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. But you got this. You got this. And the days that you'll just come in hey, I'm just going to do this. You do what you need to do. I'm not here. But well, how can people get a hold of you if they have something, just to reach out and see if it is something you do?
Definitely. Yeah, I offer assessments, free complimentary phone assessments, right? So people can reach me at my phone number. That is 912-322-0745. I also do in-home assessments. There is a cost for a 1-hour in-home assessment. However, if they do hire me for the job, I take that assessment fee and apply it to the package that they select. I have a website. My website is www.orderlychaos.co. That's co, not com. .co. Yes.
Okay.
And you can also find me on Facebook or Instagram or hanging around the chamber.
Yes. Come syrup here. But yes, we just appreciate you. Thank you for everything you're doing for this community. We're so glad you're here. And we just can't wait to see the amazing things that you're about to accomplish.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here and to continue to be a part of Camden.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Jessica. Well, guys, thank y'all for listening. You have caught episode 103 of the Getting in Your Business podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe. And call Jessica today and get your stuff organized.
Get organized.